Have you ever noticed how sometimes like the best advice is also like the simplest advice?
Yeah.
We're diving into the first chapter of this book
Eh,
today. And it really got me thinking about this whole idea of open secrets to success.
Hmm.
So these are kind of like those principles that are right there in front of us,
Right.
but we tend to miss them because they seem so simple,
Right.
so obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the book uses this really interesting analogy. It's
Oh,
like there's a treasure chest
okay.
sitting right in the middle of a town square,
Mhm.
completely unlocked and overflowing with like jewels and gold,
Wow.
but everyone just walks by.
Really?
They just assume that it has to be a trick.
Oh, interesting.
That something so valuable couldn't possibly be that easy to obtain.
Oh, I totally relate to that.
Yeah.
I've definitely spent time like searching for some complex formula
Yeah,
for success, only to realize later that the answer was actually much simpler
we all do it.
than I thought.
It's so common.
Yeah.
And this chapter actually outlines 6 reasons
Okay.
why we tend to overlook these open secrets.
Okay.
And I think that understanding these can be really helpful
Yeah.
for all of us on our own journeys.
Okay, so let's get into those reasons.
Right.
The first one really resonated with me.
Okay.
It's the allure of complexity.
Right.
It's this whole idea that we just assume that success has to be complicated.
Yes,
So we kind of just dismiss the simple things.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think a great way to think about this is in the context of business.
Yep.
Like, so many entrepreneurs get caught up in chasing these trends,
Yeah.
the latest growth hacks,
Right.
like complex strategies and all these things. But they forget that the foundation of a successful business
Yeah.
is really built on very simple principles.
Yeah.
Providing value to customers,
Yeah.
building a strong team,
Right.
and managing your finances effectively.
So true.
Basic stuff.
Yeah. It's like we think we need some super secret strategy.
It's sacked. When in reality, it's about consistently doing the fundamentals.
That's it.
Like that quote,
Yeah.
the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule,
Yes.
but to schedule your priorities.
I love that one.
Yeah.
And then the second reason is this desire for a quick fix,
Oh, yeah.
which is so prevalent today.
So prevalent.
Like we want results now.
right now.
So we jump from one thing to the next,
Yes.
never really sticking with anything long enough to see results.
I'm definitely guilty of that,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to learning new skills or like
Yeah.
building a new habit. It's
Yeah.
so easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate progress.
It really is. And I think the key here is to really shift your mindset
Okay.
from the outcome to the process.
Okay.
So instead of focusing on the end goal,
Yeah.
focus on building the systems and habits
Yeah.
that will support you in the long
That's
term.
right.
So for example, let's say you're trying to build a writing habit.
Don't focus on writing an entire novel in a month.
Right.
Focus on just writing for 30 minutes every day,
Okay.
no matter how much you actually get done.
Yeah.
Just that consistent effort.
That's such helpful advice.
Yeah,
It's really all about playing the long game,
it really is.
building that foundation of consistent effort,
Yeah.
even when you don't see immediate results.
Yeah, and that leads perfectly into the third reason,
Okay.
which is a lack of patience.
Oh, yeah. We need more of that.
We all do.
Yeah.
And it makes sense we struggle with this
Yeah.
because we live in a world of instant gratification.
Exactly.
But the thing is, true lasting success takes time.
Yeah.
It's like planting a seed.
Okay.
You wouldn't dig it up every day
Oh, no.
just to see if it's sprouted yet.
No.
You have to give it time.
Definitely not.
You have to nurture it.
You have to let it grow.
Exactly.
It's so easy to get caught in that cycle
Oh, yeah.
of like checking for progress,
Every day. Yeah.
getting discouraged, and then just giving up
It's a trap.
too soon.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's where this fourth reason comes in,
Okay.
which is that we underestimate the power of the fundamentals.
Mm.
We're so focused on the shiny new object,
Oh, yeah.
the latest hacker trick,
Right.
but we haven't mastered the basics yet.
It's like trying to run a marathon before you can even walk.
Exactly.
You got to build that foundation first,
Yeah.
right, and master those fundamentals of your craft,
Yes.
before you can achieve great things.
Exactly. I see this all the time in my field,
Really?
where people are so eager to jump into advanced techniques,
Oh, wow.
but they haven't taken the time to really master
Yeah.
the core principles.
Right.
So they end up skipping essential steps,
Mhm.
and it really shows in their work.
Okay, so we've covered 4 reasons.
Okay.
The allure of complexity, the desire for a quick fix,
Right.
lack of patience, and underestimating the power of the fundamentals.
Yeah.
What are the last 2?
Okay, so the fifth one is what the author calls the "I already know that" syndrome,
Mm-hmm.
where we hear advice, we nod our heads,
Right.
but we go right back to doing things the same way
Yeah.
because we think that just knowing something is the same as doing it,
Right.
but they are completely different.
This is so true.
Isn't it?
It's like you fall into this trap
Yeah,
of thinking that just because you've read a book
exactly.
or listened to a podcast, that you've somehow absorbed the knowledge
Yeah, you think you're good.
and are now automatically implementing it.
Yeah, it's like reading a book about fitness
Okay.
and then wondering why you're not getting any stronger.
Right.
You have to actually apply it.
You have to do it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Make a plan, schedule the time, and consistently follow through.
That's such a good example.
Yeah,
Okay, and finally, the sixth reason,
right.
resistance to change.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, these open secrets often require us
Yeah.
to change, our habits, our routines,
Everything.
even our mindsets.
Yeah.
And change can be scary.
It really can.
Right.
It forces us to get out of our comfort zones,
Yeah.
to confront those limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
and embrace the unknown.
It's tough.
It is a challenging process,
Yeah.
but it's also the only way to grow and evolve.
So if you're not willing to change, you're basically choosing to stay stuck.
That's a powerful way to put it.
And this brings us to a really interesting point.
Yeah.
This whole idea of the power of rediscovery.
Yes.
Though,
This deep dive isn't about revealing
yeah.
brand new earth-shattering secrets or anything.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
about helping you to rediscover,
Okay.
to reevaluate and reapply what you might already know.
So we're kind of like helping you dust off these gems of wisdom
Exactly.
that you might have forgotten about or just dismissed.
Yes.
But here's the key.
Go.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Right.
It's not enough to just listen and say, oh, yeah, I know that.
Right.
The real magic happens when you take action.
When you start applying these open secrets in your life.
It's like we're giving you this map to like a hidden treasure.
Okay.
But you still got to like put on your hiking boots
Yeah.
and go find it yourself.
Exactly. And remember that analogy of the treasure chest in the town square.
Yeah.
It's this powerful reminder that like the most valuable things
Mm.
are right in front of us just waiting to be discovered.
Yeah.
But we have to be open to seeing them.
Yeah. And sometimes we need that little like nudge,
Uh-huh.
that little reminder
Right.
to shift our perspective
Exactly.
and see things in a new light.
Yes.
It's kind of like having a friend point out a beautiful sunset
Yeah.
that you were too busy to notice.
I love that. It's about
Yeah.
slowing down, paying attention,
Yeah.
and being open to the possibility
Yeah.
that the answers we seek might be simpler than we think.
I like that a lot.
And remember the whole purpose of this book.
Yeah.
And really, this whole deep dive is not just to inform you, but to inspire you to take action.
Yes. It's one thing to understand these open secrets intellectually,
Right.
in your head.
Yes.
But it's another thing entirely to actually apply them
To put them into practice.
in your life.
Yeah.
And that's where the real transformation happens.
That's where the magic is.
So let's talk about action for a sec.
Okay.
What is one small step that you can take, like today, to apply one of these open secrets to your own life?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you've realized that you're really drawn to complexity.
Okay.
So this week, challenge yourself to simplify one area of your life.
Okay.
Like if you're working on a big project, break it down into smaller, more manageable tasks.
Yeah.
Or if you're just feeling overwhelmed by your to-do list,
Uh-huh.
just identify the 3 most important things.
Okay.
And just focus on those.
I like that.
Yeah.
What if you struggle with patience?
Well, then I would
Yeah.
say choose one goal you're really committed to and just focus on making consistent progress.
Yeah.
Even if it's just for 15 minutes each day.
Yeah.
Remind yourself that, small, consistent actions over time
Yeah.
lead to those remarkable results.
I love that. And what
Oh.
if you're someone who finds themselves resisting change?
Well, in that case, I would say think about one small step.
Okay.
You can take this week to get outside of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Maybe it's reaching out to someone you admire for advice.
Yeah.
Maybe it's trying a new approach to a problem you've been struggling with.
Right.
Or maybe it's just committing to learning something new.
It could be anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, even those small steps can create this ripple effect,
Okay.
leading to much bigger changes down the line.
So it sounds like the key is to just start.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't let perfectionism or fear hold you back.
And I keep thinking about that treasure chest.
Yes.
In the town square,
Yeah.
it's open and it's overflowing with potential.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So don't wait. Go claim your treasure.
Love that. So we've explored this concept of open secrets
We have.
to success.
Yeah.
We've talked about the reasons why we tend to overlook them.
Uh-huh.
And we've highlighted the power of, rediscovering
Yes.
and applying these principles in our lives.
Yes.
What's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with today?
At the end of the day, knowledge is only powerful
Yeah.
when you actually use it.
Right.
When you put it into action.
Yeah.
You can read all the books.
Yeah.
You can listen to all the podcasts.
Right.
Attend all the workshops.
Yeah.
But if you don't take action,
Yeah.
nothing will change.
It's like having all the ingredients
Yeah.
to make this incredible meal,
Right.
but you never actually cook it.
Yes.
You're just left with all this potential,
a lot of potential.
but no real nourishment.
Yeah. And we don't want that for you.
Right.
We want you to walk away from this deep dive
Yeah.
feeling empowered
Yeah.
to create change in your life.
Take action. Okay, so let's talk about action.
Right.
What is one small step
Mm.
that our listeners can take today
Okay.
to apply one of these open secrets to their life?
Well, if you realize that you're drawn to complexity,
Okay.
challenge yourself this week to simplify one area.
Okay.
If you're working on a project, break it down into smaller tasks.
Right.
And if you're overwhelmed by your to-do list,
Yeah.
identify the 3 most important things
Yeah.
and focus on those.
Just those.
Just those.
I like it. And maybe you struggle with patience.
Well, in that case,
Yeah.
choose a goal that you're really committed to
Okay.
and just focus on making consistent progress,
Yeah.
even just 15 minutes a day.
Okay.
Those small, consistent actions
Yeah.
over time
Yeah.
lead to amazing results.
I love that. And what if you're someone who really just resists change?
Well, think about one small step that you can take outside your comfort zone this week.
Okay.
Maybe it's reaching out to someone you admire for advice. Maybe it's trying a new approach to a problem that you've been struggling with.
Yeah.
Or just commit to learning something new.
It could be so many things.
It really could be.
Yeah.
The point is, just start.
Right.
Don't let perfectionism hold you back.
Right. And remember that treasure chest?
Yes.
That's open,
Mm-hmm.
overflowing with potential.
Absolutely.
You have everything you need to succeed.
You do.
So go out there and claim it.
Claim your treasure.
I love that. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.